Hello. It is November 3rd, and I just want to talk about my the first couple days of NaNoWriMo. NaNoWriMo, as I said before, National Novel Writing Month started on November 1st, and this is the first NaNoWriMo that I've participated in at least 4 years, but I decided to participate this year. I did not have any kind of outline or plan. I just decided I was going to wing it. And the reason why I did that is because of the fact that I haven't been writing for years. I felt that if I tried to stick to a certain type of story, that I would end up blocking myself pretty quickly. So I just decided to just put my hands to the keyboard and see what comes out, and then I will kind of form around there, and that turned out pretty well. My goal for the first was at least hit the target average words per day, which was 1667, and I ended that day at 3,550 words. So I think I did pretty well. So I got the 2 badges. I earned the 1 badge for getting past the 1667, and then I got another badge for actually updating my word count. And the second day, I did not write as much, only because I was not feeling well. As I've said so many times before, I do have chronic insomnia, and I did not sleep well, and I just wasn't feeling well. So I wasn't expecting much on the second. I knew I was going to write something, but I didn't know how much I was going to write, and I just figured, well, if I can only get 1 paragraph out, that's 1 paragraph more towards the goal. At the end of the day, I ended at 5,015 words, so I got another badge for hitting the 5,000 count, 5,000 word count, and of course the 3rd isn't over yet, so I am still working on it. Let's see, the next badges that I hope to work for would be, let's see, the updating your word count 5 days in a row. And for word count, the next badge for word count is 10,000 words. I found that in the years that I have not participated in NaNoWriMo but still paid attention to what others were doing, I found that NaNoWriMo means different things for different people. There are published authors that participate and also do pep talks. And there are different ways that people approach it. Some people get buddies together, and they find out if any of their friends are going to do it. They work together. Some people go to write-ins. Unfortunately, the only write-ins I don't know anybody locally that's doing it, so the closest would be like an hour away, and if there was one. But I might try to do one of the I might try to catch one of the live streaming events that NaNoWriMo will be having throughout the month on their YouTube channel, sort of like a live virtual write-in, which I think would be pretty cool. For me, NaNoWriMo, and this is just my opinion, to me, yes, it's a challenge, and it would be cool to actually complete the challenge and get 50,000 words on or before the 30th. But to me, especially in my case, it's more about the journey, between the start and finish. At the end of the day, even if I don't get to 50,000 words, which I am like 80% sure I will at this point, even if I don't get it, I feel that I can still look back and say, wow, I still wrote this amount of words in a month. And it's the one time that I could definitely say, well, at least I tried, and be genuine about it. I think the most important thing for me is just to get on here, get on my computer, or grab a notebook and, get there every day and develop my story. And I notice, and it's very strange because only in a couple days, I noticed, I guess, I don't know if this is just the stimuli of trying to write an actual story as opposed to journaling. I noticed that my vocabulary has gotten better, and that I'm not like scrounging for words as much. One thing that I haven't noticed is mentioned, or I don't like to talk about because it's really hard to talk about. You know, I went through a lot of trauma when I was in the military. I was married to an extremely abusive person, and I'll just say the command did not handle it well at all. They handle it very cruelly, and it's something that the military's done a lot, unfortunately. But when a person is dealing with high levels of stress, like extremely high, we're not talking about like an everyday stress of work and, you know, life, a high level stress of a normal situation, an abnormal situation rather, that, you know, that you shouldn't be going through, and it's like almost 24/7 for an extremely extended period of time, it can cause your mind to kind of like atrophy, and that combined with the experience that I had some years ago around when I was put on a crap load of medication and it caused some problems. It has changed me a lot. I never had issues with stuttering before, and I constantly stutter, and it's just because it is a communication issue. And it could be, it also could be the trauma, it could be emotional, but I stutter, I have a hard time with words. My memory shot, I have horrible, there's tons of time. I still have, to this day, a hard time converting short-term memory to long-term memory, and I think that was one of the reasons why I never wanted to pick up a pen and write again, because I could feel that there was something different. And I kept saying, I will never be, you know, to par to what I was before. It's not like I was this amazing writer before, but you know yourself, and you know when you're changed, and you know when you're not what you used to be. And I didn't even want to try anymore because I'm like, what's the point? I suck. But the couple of days where past couple days where I've just sat down and said, no, I'm going to keep going until I write these amount of words, things are coming and flowing all of a sudden. So I think it's just the practice. It's my own therapy, and maybe some, you know, maybe the universe was telling me something, that I had to do NaNoWriMo this year. But anyway, one thing I will say is I do have an advantage that plenty of people doing the challenge does not, and that is time and schedule. The only thing I do that has a fixed schedule is volunteering at the library, which is only a couple times, days a week, a couple hours a day. I do not have a job because I'm currently unemployable. I do not have children. I don't have, you know, a stressful life, and I'm not pressed for time. So it's not a situation where I have, you know, that I only have time before work or school. You know, a lot of people are in school, or time after work. So I can literally wake up in the morning, say, oh, I'll start writing at noon, and then I'll write for a half hour. And then, so I think that's the reason why I'm able to stay on track. So far, I'm able to stay on track with what they're saying you should try to get. And I think that's one of my advantages. But I feel that even if someone does have a really stressful schedule, they should at least try. But I feel like you shouldn't flog yourself if you can't hit the goal, because it is a big challenge. If you actually get to 50,000 words, you are called you won. You won NaNoWriMo for that year. You're a NaNoWriMo winner. But the thing is, the only person you're actually competing with is yourself. You're not competing with anybody else that is participating in the challenge. As a matter of fact, you're cheering each other on, you're pepping each other, so you're only competing with yourself. So, you know, make it a game if you have to. That's what I'm trying to do. Like, okay, let's see if I can get these words by this time, or let's see if by this time I can get to this point in the story, and that's what I've been doing. Unfortunately, my story is more true to life than I wanted to be. That was not my plan. I did not going in saying, I'm gonna write stuff that I know about. It was, no, it's just, that is just how it happened. And instead of deciding to completely scrap what I wrote and say, no, I'm not going to write about this, I just decided to let it go because maybe I have to get certain things out of my system before I can get back to writing like I used to. But I think I've gone on long enough. I just wanted to update everybody on my progress, and good luck to everyone else who's participating, and I hope you have a great week. Bye.